Okay, so far we looked at 3 different methods to solve quadratic equations. One was factoring, when you have an equation like x squared minus 4x minus 5 equal to 0. If I factor this, I can solve for x. I can write this as x minus 5 times x plus 1 equal to 0. So x minus 5 equal to 0, that would result into x equal to 5. X plus 1 equal to 0, that would be x equal to minus 1. We looked at use the square root property. So if I have x squared plus 16, I can isolate the x squared and take a square root of both sides and put a plus and minus right in front of that. So in this case, x squared is equal to negative 16. X is equal to plus and minus square root of negative 16. So x would be equal to plus and minus 4i. This would be imaginary number. And then we looked at how to solve by completing square method. We moved the constant to the other side, and then we took the coefficient of x divided by 2, square them. We find the number 4, add that to both sides of the equation, and we made the left-hand side completely squared. And we use the square root property to solve for x. And then we solve for x as being x equal to 2 plus and minus square root of 11. We also looked at quadratic formula, x equal to minus b plus and minus square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. So there are 3 different methods to solve quadratic formula. When it says solve the equation by using any method, then it's really up to you which method you want to use. If you have a problem with any of these methods, please go back and refer to the old sessions on these. For now, I want to give you a few minutes to see what method you like to use to solve this. For those of you watching this at home, pause the session and solve them and see if you get the same answer that we get. And we'll see if you are using the same method that we're going to use in a few minutes. Okay, we should be done with these 3. Can somebody tell me what would be steps you want to take for the first problem here? Anyone? Your microphone.
I solved by removing the square on the left side and putting a square root on the right side.
Okay. What's the name of that?
The square root method.
Square root property? Yeah. Okay, that's a good method actually, because the left-hand side is already square of something. So remember, if I had something square is equal to a number k, we were saying that x is equal to plus and minus radical k. And that is the method you're going to use. So in this case, I would get 3x plus 8 is equal to plus and minus square root of 36. That means I can subtract 8 from both sides of the equation here. I get 3x. I can remove that square root first. It would be plus and minus radical 6, and it would be 3x plus 8 is equal to plus 6, or 3x plus 8 is equal to minus 6. Everybody with me so far? So we get 3x equal to negative 2 by subtracting 8 from both sides of the equation. X would be equal to minus 2/3. 3x equal to negative 14 by subtracting 8 again. So x would be equal to minus 14 over 3. So here we have it, minus 1/2 and minus 14 over 3. It looks like that was the easiest method to use. Next example, solve using any method. Can somebody tell me what method you used to solve this one? Okay, can you?
I used factoring method. I did.
You factored it?
Yes.
How do you factor that?
6x plus 1 and parentheses and x minus 8.
Good. 6 plus 1 times x minus 8. Good. Now you're going to let each of these parentheses be equal to 0. We get x equal to minus 1 over 6, x equal to 8, and that's a good way to do it. We could use quadratic formula if you wanted to, but it looks like that is a good method. Anybody else? Anybody use quadratic equation for this one? Oh, you tried, but you got a large number. Okay, so it's easy enough to factor. That would be a preferred steps as well. Okay, next example. Can somebody tell me what method you use for that?
Sure. I'll go again. I use the what's that method called? With negative b plus or minus the quadratic.
Quadratic formula. Good job.
There you go.
Okay, so for that, I would write this in the standard form first. I'm going to add 1 to both sides of the equation. Identify what is A, B, and C. It's not factorable here, by the way. So your A is 3, your B is 8, and your C is 1.
Right.
So here we have the quadratic formula. So here we have minus 8 plus and minus. What do we have underneath the radical? 8 squared minus 4 times 3 times 1 would be 64 minus 12. We get x equal to minus 8 plus and minus square root of 52 over 6. We want to see if we can reduce this. Can I reduce square root of 52 to what? 4 times 13 maybe, right? 4 times 13, yeah. If you change it to 4 times 13, then it becomes 2 radical 13, right? 4 becomes 2. Now you notice that each of these terms are factor of 2. So if I factor the 2 at the top, then I can reduce it with 3, with 6. That would be 2 times 3. So there it is. Minus 4 plus and minus radical 13 over 3. So these are my solutions.